I'm a 22-year-old woman, and for most of my life, I believed my mother didn't really love me. I thought she was distant, uninterested, and selfish. But I've come to realize that almost everything I believed about her was a lie, fed to me carefully, piece by someone I trusted more than almost anyone else. My parents divorced when I was 5. The split itself was messy, though I barely remember it. What I do remember is my dad remarrying a year later. Her name was Veronica, and she moved into our house like she had always belonged there. She was younger than my mom, more stylish, and knew how to talk to kids in a way that made me feel important. At first, I thought she was amazing. She'd take me to the movies, let me eat junk food at night, buy me things just because. She laughed at my jokes and let me skip bedtime for game nights. I told my mom about the fun things I did at my dad's house, and she'd just give me a tired smile. Slowly, Veronica started slipping in little comments. She never spoke badly about my mom directly, at least not at first. She'd say things like, "Your mom's a little uptight, isn't she?" Or she probably called because she's feeling guilty. When my mom would call to talk to me, Veronica would sometimes whisper, "You don't have to talk if you don't feel like it," or she'd roll her eyes in front of me. I started answering with shorter replies. Sometimes I didn't answer at all. My dad never stopped this. If anything, he played along in his own way. If my mom asked for an extra day to see me, he'd say it wasn't a good time. He never yelled or said anything cruel, but he never corrected Veronica either. And that made it easy for me to start believing that maybe they were right. Maybe my mom really was the problem. When I was 8, we moved houses. Veronica said it was for better schools, but I never saw much difference. I only realized years later that my mom never had the new address. I stopped getting birthday cards from her. I assumed she just didn't care enough to send them anymore. Veronica said things like she probably forgot again, with a little sigh. I believed her. As I got older, Veronica's stories about my mom became darker. She told me my mom barely showed up for court during the custody battle, that she didn't try very hard to keep me, that she was unreliable and emotional and gave up easily. At 10 years old, I told my mom I didn't want to visit anymore. She cried and begged me to think about it. I told her to stop being dramatic. I still remember Veronica hugging me afterward and saying, "You're so brave for standing up for yourself." From then on, every holiday was spent with my dad's side. Veronica always had an excuse about why I couldn't split time. She said it would be too much driving, too stressful for me. "You don't want to ruin Christmas by having to go back and forth, do you?" I didn't. So I stayed. My mom stopped trying as hard. Her calls became less frequent. She didn't show up to things anymore. I thought that confirmed everything. If she really wanted to be in my life, wouldn't she try harder? Wouldn't she fight? By the time I was 13, I was the one picking fights with her. If we did talk or meet, I'd say things that made her flinch. I accused her of not caring, of leaving me behind. She'd sit there quietly and sometimes cry. I used to think it was pathetic. I was a teenager with a chip on my shoulder, and Veronica made me feel like I was the adult in the room. Therapy came into the picture around that time. It was mostly my mom's idea, but my dad agreed because it might help with communication. I sat through the sessions and said what I thought I was supposed to say, that I was angry, that I felt abandoned, that I just didn't connect with her anymore. None of it helped. I was too convinced that I already knew the truth. When I was 19, I left for college out of state. I chose a school far away, not for any specific reason, just to be on my own. That's what I told myself anyway. My dad and Veronica helped me move in. My mom offered to come, but I told her it wasn't necessary. She didn't push it. College gave me space, and in that space, something strange started to happen. I met people who had complicated families too, but they told different kinds of stories.